there to support, but you also have to allow them to go through that process too. And I go back and forth myself a little bit because it still does sting. Because like that's my friend, that's my sister, that's my girl, you know. But also knowing how, again, with your circle, when they need that space, allowing them that space, and always having that open door where they can always come back in as needed. But also letting them know how you feel too. That is important. But also allowing them to go through that healing process because it's different for everybody.
Right. It is, and I think it's a hard, especially for those good girlfriends, those good ones that you talk to all the time, and it's like, and then you don't want to see them hurt, they don't want to see you hurt, so you all balance each other out. But and I think I'm a little more understanding because I had a situation where life was really lifing, and I couldn't people, I couldn't people, but just knowing that I had some folks to where if I needed them and knowing that they were there, that meant so much to me because of something that I did. And even now I'll still do it. I don't want to give other people my stuff because I know people got their stuff and I'm like, I don't want to give you my stuff because, you know, my stuff is heavy. So let me figure out my stuff. You know, I'm going to figure out my stuff. If I need you, I'm going to tap you in. But they know that Erica probably still won't tap in. And so you have those friends who are like, yeah, no. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to accept this. You're going to take this tap in and we're going to be okay. And we're going to start over tomorrow. And I appreciate that because, and I think it's just that whole stigma of having to be strong all the time, being the strong woman, carrying the weight, fixing everything, doing everything. And then I know I got to a point where I felt like and even now, I'll feel like if I need help or I need that friend, something as simple as a ride, if my car is just that simple, I will feel like, well, no, I don't want to worry them because I know they got to do this and they got to do this. And then there's this little voice that'll be like, okay, but then they may not think I'm strong. And then what if they really need me and I'm not there because they're not going to. So that whole mind game is just
crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
So another part you talked about was in finding yourself, knowing what works for you. And in our circle, it's great to have our circle. But there's also some times where we have to be about ourselves. So I want to talk about self-care a little bit. We just left Thanksgiving, so yes, we're still in the high spirits of being grateful and thankful and blessed. But what are some pieces we want to be mindful of when it comes to self-care?
Self-care does not, you define your self-care. It doesn't have to be I think when a lot of people think of self-care, they think of the trips. They think of this, but that trip may not be self-care if you're going to come back and then you don't have the money to take care of what you got to take care of at home. So self-care may not be the trip. So don't do the trip. You may just want to go to the lake, go for a walk, go find a local waterfall. You might want to do that. You know, you may just want to go to the local massage place, you know. But self-care is, for me, is something that's not going to cause me to stress once I return from whatever that self-care activity is. Something that I need to do, and I used to love to read books. I could read them in a couple of days. So I'll still buy books. I haven't got hip to the Kindle and all of that great stuff because it's something about a book in my hand. And so I keep telling myself, like, okay, get back to reading. Like just finding that moment to just steal away and just do that. Before it got cold, I went down and sat by a body of water, watched the sunset. Most refreshing thing ever, and it didn't cost me anything. It cost me a couple dollars in gas. You know, it won't even a full gallon. And I said, oh,
yes,
I can do this a little more often. But yeah, so self-care for me is something that is not going to cause me stress when I return from it, because to me it's not self-care. So yeah, we all want to do the trips, we want to, but if I say that that's my self-care, I go to Hawaii and then I come back and I'm like, all right, I just spent that $2,000 and now I got to figure out what am I going to do for the card, you know, the card payment. And it's like, was it self-care or was it just self-care in the moment? And then you come back and it's like, bam. So it's self-care for me is things that are going to pour into me just to make me stronger, bring me that peace. Whether it's taking a PTO day, whether it's watching my favorite show, whether it's, you know, going for a walk, whether it's spending time with my son at times, because that's big for me. So discovering something new or trying something I wouldn't try, that for me is self-care. And I try to put more of that into it, which goes back to me being Erica and
Yeah.
not mom,
Yeah.
for a couple of days
Yeah.
this week, so just getting back to Erica, getting back to who you are as a person and not your other hats that you wear.
I like that. When you were sharing that, it was like I was seeing like the words breaking up as well. So if you're going to Hawaii, you're gonna make sure that your bills were covered. That was just self. Had nothing to do with care. Because you do out the cares to make sure we're going on this trip.
That part.
Aaron, I am planning for the trip. I am setting aside funds for the trip. I am making sure that my roof will still be over my head when I come back home. My car will be outside, so we're making sure that our needs are met before we're going above and beyond. So connect with a travel agent. I'll work to have one of them on because they help you to pay for the trip. They give you payment plans. We're doing all these afterpays and cartridges or whatever it is, where it's like the 4 payments, 5 payments. QVC started it, if you don't know. But they have these options to be able to have that breakdown where you don't feel like you're giving up out of your pocket, because something is always going to happen. As soon as you pay one thing, here comes the light in the car, here comes a tire, here comes something in the house, here comes something that you need, something that somebody else's need.